Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be learning some 8 interesting facts about Android you probably didn't know about. Stay tuned to the end because number 1 will take you off guard. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my new uploads. With that said, let's get started. Android versions are released alphabetically. Well, back at the earliest release and the first release of Android, the Android 1.0, it was called Astro Boy. The 1.1 was released later, which was also named Bender, and then the dessert story started from cupcake, donut, eclair, and so on. You know the story. A B C D E F G. Well, the second interesting fact you might want to know is that not all Android versions are named after a dessert. The first two Android versions were called Astro Boy and Bender, and these are not dessert names if you may recall. The dessert story started after the release of the first two versions, starting with Cupcake, until in 2019 Google announced they were not going to continue naming Android versions after desserts. But interesting, the latest Android version, the Android Chop, has a dessert name. Yes, it has. It's called Snoko. This was announced by Dave Beck, the VP of Engineering at Google for Android, with this post. The green Android logo was inspired by a bathroom sign. The Android logo was designed in 2007 by Irina Block, a graphic designer of Google. She and her associate decided to make it an open source. That meant that any company of the world was free to customize it. Later, Block said about her creation that it was like a child who she had given a life, and now it was to live its own independent life, women and emotions. Block's inspiration came from an interesting and clever place, bathroom doors. The outlines of men and women have become universally recognized, so she mimicked the design for Android. Well, her boss said that he wanted the logo to resonate um, with customers or consumers for the mobile device department, and then what way was she going to do it? That's the creativity of the graphic designers that we talk about. Is to take something that everybody was already familiar with and then to mix it and make it something really new, and then gave birth to this iconic and this wonderful logo that we all recognize today. Android was not invented by Google. Actually, Android was invented by a company called Android Inc. in Palo Alto, California in October 2003 by Andy Rubin, Rich Miner, Nick Sears, and Chris White. Rubin described the Android project as having tremendous potential in developing smarter mobile devices that are more aware of its owner's location and preference. In 2005, Google bought Android from that company. Well, I have an interesting part of this fact right coming up. One interesting twist in it. Someone could have been the owner of this. And so eventually Android Inc. or the company or Andy Rubin's squad wasn't really designing an operating system for mobile devices. They were trying to tap into the camera space. They were trying to develop operating systems like that could work with their cameras, and then we realized that the cameras market wasn't that huge enough to scale to what they were expecting, and so the vision alone of Rubin at that time was already over the roof. So the average price for an app in Google Play is about $0.06. That's because you have most apps on Google Play are free and then garbage, and that's why you just almost download trash over there. Well, if you're looking to find an Easter egg somewhere, don't worry. If you're carrying an Android, you have an Easter egg in your hands. Well, you can reveal an Easter egg on your Android smartphone. Just go to your app settings, about phone, and click continuously on the Android version, generally 7 times, and see what happens. Try it now. Alright, so we've made it all the way to our final two. If you're still here, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, and be sure to get more interesting videos like it. So now let's get into our last two facts. Alright, so Samsung had the opportunity to buy Android. In 2004, Samsung could buy Android, but they didn't see any potential in it. Actually, there was a meeting and there was a pitch. Andy Rubin pitched the idea of Android to the Samsung board of directors, and then they look at it and they weren't impressed, and then they said uh, they couldn't go on with the deal. They couldn't, and fortunately or unfortunately on their part, Google was lagging behind, and then 1 week after that pitch, Google went ahead to acquire Android, and later on, a Samsung member of the board that were part of the pitch that Andy did later on called Andy to see whether they could renegotiate or they could have a redefined understanding of the whole Android thing, and but at that time it was late. And so one might say that maybe that is one of Samsung's biggest ever mistake or regret. For me, I just don't think it is, because number one, if Samsung had acquired Android, maybe Android wouldn't be like this today. You see that maybe they would have charged a fee for it, or instead of making it free like how Google did, they had very different strategies they would have applied to how they were going to use Android. And then if you look at it in both ways, in different angles, or you might say it was a mistake, but you might also say it was a blessing in disguise. And then right now Samsung is really benefiting from Android, and maybe the strategy Google used is really helpful. Maybe if it had fallen into the hands of Samsung, we would have a different story about Android. Maybe one of their engineers would have deleted the source code. No, I'm just kidding. So that's it. So Microsoft makes much money from Android than Windows Phone. So every time you buy an Android smartphone or tablet, Microsoft is likely receiving $5 to $15. They likely make at least about 2 billion per year from Android. So maybe that would be one of the many reasons why they discontinue the Windows phones actually. So this financial agreement is all about patent royalties, and they claim that they have the software patent that Android infringes on, and they threaten lawsuit against Android device manufacturers until they settle this. And so these manufacturers seem it wise enough to just give them their percentage, and instead of fighting a whole lawsuit with a big tech giant like what was the name, like Microsoft, which they may lose a lot of money. So why not just give Microsoft is $5 or whatever percentage is claiming. So in 2012, Microsoft announced that 70% of Android devices sold were now covered by their patent licensing agreement, and so that puts their manufacturers in a bit of situation where they have to, or they must settle Microsoft. If not, they might be sued. So Microsoft hasn't really touched much on the topic specifically. There was a blog which I tried to get on, but it's no longer on their website. It's no longer on their Microsoft website. So that's it, guys. So 8 interesting facts you didn't know about Android. And then if you have any facts or any other addition you want to add, just put them down below in the comments below. Sorry, in the comment section, and then I'll be sure to look that up and also learn a lot from you guys. And so that's it, guys. I'll see you guys in my next video.
AK Mod produced it.